Right then, lads and lassies, this is Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you, and this is going to be slightly different. Mind you, I keep saying slightly different. Maybe I should just get used to the fact that they're all slightly different. Essentially, I need to make I need to explain to you what's going to be going on. Strawberry is currently stood behind the camera taking pictures of me, and will be throughout the filming of this video. He's also going to be responsible for the filming. So, if the shots are bad, dodgy, shake, if he is miles too close, miles too far away, all of that kind of stuff, it's Mr. Strawberry's fault.
No, it's not.
Say it louder.
No, it's not.
But, well, it's definitely going to be my fault. But what we are going to be doing today is something that I really need my head testing for. But over the coming months and stuff, you'll kind of explain where I'm going, why we did this. I need to get on 2011. I've had enough. I can't stay on the 990X any longer. I've got bits here. I'm going to build myself a 2011 rig. Even if it just means that I'm just going to be using it for the next month or 6 weeks or whatever. So what I've done is I've been out to the garage and I've got the 500R in that we reviewed a little while ago. Is your camera recording?
No.
Oh, you're just taking pictures?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So I've been and got the 500R in. I'm going to be a bit peeved with the mesh, but over the next week or so I may do something about the mesh, put some acrylic in behind it or something like that, I don't know. But for the time being, we're going to be building a rig in the 500R. We're going to be using the H100 for cooling. We're going to be using Noctua Focus Flow NF-F12s throughout. So we're going to put 2 in the front, 2 in for the H100 in the roof, and then we're also going to have another one in the back. Graphics card, I've actually got, now this is a 7950 on a 7970 PCB. Don't ask me why, it's a long story. This was actually made before my 7970 sample, to be perfectly honest with you, but we're going to be using this. So we're going to be using this in there, but we're then also going to be chucking the Accelero Extreme 7970 cooler on it. Power, we're going to use the good old-fashioned Corsair AX750, and then I'm also going to be using the lovely individual white braided cables that I've got. Memory, 32GB of Corsair Vengeance. It's the 4x8GB sticks that I've got. So I've got 8GB sticks, and there are 4 of them. 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Lovely jubbly. Yes, I have got another kit of these, but we will get there. Motherboard, I'm going to use an Asus P9X79 Pro. It's not one of the high-end boards, it's just one of the ones, I mean, it's still a sexy looking motherboard, and a really sexy looking motherboard. I really like the look of this. But anyway, so we're going to be using this, so it's not just going to be, you know, we could technically have got the Rampage 4 Extreme, or I should say one of my Rampage 4 Extremes, because I seem to be, they seem to be having babies at the moment. And I could have used one of the 7970s, because they're breeding as well. But the idea is I'm just building myself a rig that I can use, that the type of thing that one of you guys out there would love to have. And to be perfectly honest with you, I really want this as well. I want to start afresh, I want something quick. Solid state drive, I'm still not sure yet. I do have an Intel 240GB drive there, but I might drop in one of my Corsair 480s. The only reason why I'm not necessarily going to drop one of the Corsair 480s in now is in the rig that will replace this, and there will be a rig that will replace this within the next month or so, maybe 8 weeks at the very most. I'll then be using those drives for RAID, and it'd be nice to have just put those 2 drives in at once in RAID. So I may just stick with one of the other drives for now as a temporary, and then put the Force 3s in with the big rig later. So it's all going to be new bits. Processor, more than likely going to use a 3960, but I may put a 3930 in there, I don't know. Probably going to put a 3960 in. It depends what I get out of the Magic CPU box first. So yeah, these are going to be the bits. Now the difference is the Straubs has actually got the camera plugged in with a main power feed in it for once, because we always do it by battery normally. So we're going to put it, it's plugged in. And the idea is, as much as possible, we're going to film me building it. So start to finish, he may obviously, you know, stop here and there, because you're not going to just want to see me endlessly screwing fans in and out and stuff like that. But as much as we possibly can do, we're going to film most of it. So we'll get the board all built up. You can see us doing that. You can see me fitting the H100. You can see me fitting the cooler on the graphics card. I mean, that in itself is going to be quite fun. It'll also be a good test to see how bad a cameraman Straubs is. But the worse he is, the more funnier it will be later, because I think what I may do is strip him down to his boxer shorts, get some winter paintballs, and we'll get him outside and have a paintball session or something. He now looks scared for his life. He doesn't realise I've got a paintball gun. So yeah, so we're going to get all this in. So really, I kind of need to start cracking on, because I need to take fans out the side of this and fans out the front, strip the case. I'm just going to get on with it. I'm hoping now that Straubs is going to be able to keep his side of the bargain, and hopefully I won't trip over all the mics leads and stuff too much. I really do need to get some radio mics. But already you now can't see me, and Straubs hasn't fucking thought about it. So yeah, I'm just going to try and get on with me work, and we'll see how badly Straubs does. Because I now can't see what he's doing. And I'm worried, because you're looking at my back. I'm worried. Steve! No, I'm really worried, Steve. They don't want to look at my back. I'll tell you what, if I stand this way the whole time, they won't see my back, Steve. Right then, peeps, you're not going to get to see a lot of me. Don't forget, Mr. Strawberry is the cameraman. This is a very worrying thing for everyone. I have my drawer of tools, and I have the stuff that I need to get put in the case and get done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by doing the case itself. I'm going to get the case prepped. Now I'm going to get Straubs now to spin the little screen round on the doofer, because now it's up to him. If this is shit, it's his fault, and I'm not going to know till afterwards, and it'll mean we've wasted an entire evening, and it will mean for every mistake that he makes will be an extra 10 metres run up I'm going to get before I kick him in the goalies. So, right, case. I'm going to sit down because I did a kettle size class last night and my legs still feel like lead weights. So, a few screwdrivers I'm going to need, and I might need that later. Right. So, first things first, pop the door off, get that back there. I don't want this fan on, I'm not going to use it. If anything, at a later date, I will more than likely end up trying to fit some kind of window to the door. But obviously we've not got time to do it tonight. I've not got any acrylic. I've just had a lovely takeaway. I had Diet Coke though. So right, yeah, I'm going to do this first and sneeze. Look at the light. No, it's not working. Right, so fan. I'm just going to go quickly, and I was going to get the box, but it's too far away, so we'll chuck it in the box. Door panel, we'll call that it for now. Stick that underneath. I really should have put the fan screws in the fan. Right, back panel. Now I'm just going to kind of guide you through. This is my normal way of doing things, maybe not every time, but if I'm doing a rig for myself, then it's generally the way I do it. We're going to take that off because I know we're going to be needing the top off later. That comes off in one bit then. Right, so that needs to come off because we know we're going to be changing them. Done that, done that, done that. Right, so that's where we're going to put that. Right, so next thing, hard drives, not really going to be having any. So with the, obviously can't see what he's showing you. With the 500R, I don't need all these hard drive doobie whatsits. So to be perfectly honest with you, I'm going to whiz them out. Can't remember how you do it with this. Did we put all the screws back in or not? But I'm going to take them out anyway. The trouble is I'm where I know the camera's going, I'm trying to do this really quickly, which could end up being really bad, and it could also end up being really funny for you lot when I have to keep redoing stuff. But we'll see how it pans out. Straub's already on the move. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, I'm seeing a camera. I'm seeing a camera. This means that if you did actually tune in to have a look at the stuff that we did on Facebook, that... Oh, I do need to take them out separately. The pictures that were going on Facebook are these ones he's taking now. In fact, I think he should turn the camera noises back on his phone so people know when he was taking shots. Do 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 do. Right, so, oh crikey, they caught well. Ta-da! Right, so that's that, and we've got a big empty case, a very big empty case. So continuing on with the fan theme, we've got an extremely empty chassis at the moment. But I'm going to keep removing fans because I'm going to take these little lovelies out and I'm going to fit them with some Noctua focus flow fans. I know I'm rather privileged to have these type of things laying around, and they're not the cheapest fans in the world. But as you will see in an upcoming review, they are absolutely awesome, especially on a radiator and stuff like that. So, as I've got them, I'm going to use them in this case. I wish I could have some music on, but then YouTube won't let me have any adverts. And I don't care what you think, adverts are the reason why these videos get made. Because they help me pay my bills. Right, so we've got a few more fan screws there, which we're going to need those all in a jiff. So Corsair fan out, Corsair fan out. If you heard that little... I'll tell you something I've just thought of though. I hope these are just the doobies. We're not going to be able to, because they're 4s. I think that's a, yeah. So we won't be able to use that. That's right, I'm just basically working out and remembering that this has got a fan controller on the front. I believe it's got a fan controller on the front. Yeah, it's got a fan controller on the front and a light switch. But obviously, the fan controller connections won't work with the Noctua fans, because the Noctua fans are PWM, which are 4-pin, but that doesn't matter because what I want to do anyway is actually set it up so it's tuned, so literally when it's on, that's how I want it working all the time, and it will work well and quietly no matter whether it's on load or on idle, and that's generally the way I work with my rigs anyway. Ask any of the competition winners from last year. They're all immensely quiet, and the only way they knew they were actually on was the fact that the front light was on. They were set up really well. Bam bam bam, really need some music. Do 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 do, my legs hurt. Now, I suppose I can keep talking while I'm doing this, but there, if anyone's wondering why I'm doing this quickly, Orca might take a little while. There's been a few problems with the carbon and stuff, and to be perfectly honest with you, there's been a few hardware changes happening lately. Nothing to do with graphics cards or anything like that, because I really don't give a monkeys with the graphics, because it's not top of the pot to me. You could say to me, oh, I've got you like the bestest ever Kepler graphics card, and I'd be well happy I got to test it. But as far as my main rig's concerned, it doesn't matter. It's more that type of thing for me. It's more important for me to have on my bench rig to be able to share with you guys than anything else. Basically, because I I don't really game on my main rig. What I'm doing here is just fitting the first of the Noctua fans. In a minute actually, Straubs, well not in a minute or somewhen, he will start uploading these to Facebook. Now I'm setting this up, this is the difficult thing, because I'm setting this up as an exhaust as I always would. I'm going to have 2 fans in the front, 2 fans coming out the back. A lot of people would say have an extra one blowing in, but I'm going to, for this one this time, I'm going to leave it as normal. So I don't really think there's any massive need. The only problem is by having more blowing out of the case means that you've got a negative pressure inside the case. And then effectively, because you've got a negative pressure inside the case, it means it's sucking in. And then that means it can help dust find its way in through little gaps. And stuff like that. So that's why you would tend to want a positive pressure in the case, so that the air that's already been forced in is then trying to push out through those little gaps. So yeah, that's the difference between positive and negative pressure inside your case, which obviously you will not get if you're using one of the laptop bobs from shelfthemarket.com. But we prefer the meerkat. Right, so Stavros. We have the Noctua in the back. I need a couple more of the Noctua babies now to place in the front. These are actually really good fans. You can practically run these at 12 volts and forget they're running, but because I'm such a silence freak, I may tune them down, but I'm not going to be able to know about it, really know about this until I start using it. So I'm going to just plough through for the time being, and we'll see how we get on. Now, one thing I will say is when you're doing this, hopefully you're going to be able to see enough, because Straubs is on the deck uploading pictures to Facebook. But I'll show you on the other side. When you fit fans like this, don't just stick them on and kind of, wrap the cables around and stuff. What you want to do straight away is think to yourself, where is the cable and where do I want it to be? So for me, I'm going to have the cable halfway up here, so it's up here like this. And then when I fit the other fan, I'm going to have it so it's there as well, because then these 2 cables are roughly the same length, so that when we get on the inside it will make them easier to hide, because we'll have roughly the same length cables. If we had them that way, so that they were both at the bottom, they wouldn't be the same length when we were trying to route them. So I know it sounds really kind of like over the top, but just over the years that I've been building these rigs and stuff, it's little things like that that I can't stop doing, and there's been many a times when I thought, oh, it won't matter, and you've nearly got the rig finished, and then the one thing that starts to annoy you is that cable you thought wouldn't matter, and you end up having to go back and take loads of the system apart just to fix that one bloody cable.
What should we use as the album title?
I don't know, Steve-O. What shall we use as the album title? I don't know. I haven't got a clue, actually. We can leave this on camera as well. What day is it today? Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm up to options, Stephen. What do you think?
I really don't know. Weekend of Madness? TTL's finally lost his mind.
No, because that's not finally. That's been a long time. I don't know. TTL build standing rig or something. What do we call it? Strawberry surprise. Rig built live for YouTube. 2011 system built live for YouTube. That's a good one. Right, sorry about that, peeps. Again, you did say that you wanted me to have to record all this, so that's fine. We've got the focus flow fans in the front, although the way that the front of the Corsair fans work actually stops the focus bits on the fans being able to work properly because they're slightly stepped. But anyway, so we've got the fans in, so that's in, we're all good. Next thing really for me is to chuck the AX 750 watt in the bottom, and for me that is the right way round. I'm hoping we're going to be able to find some screws because Steve's got a horrible tendency of losing all the screws, but we've got some brand new ones that come with a case. Lovely. So yes, we've got the that in the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is get the power supply in, because obviously it's 100% modular, so that's not too bad. Next thing we're going to do is get the motherboard in place. So with the motherboard in place, that'll mean we'll need to fit the CPU, which means I'll have to shout at Steve to go and find me one, because I'm not sure. Steve, where is the other from the 60?
I'm not too sure.
Is it in the drawer? Right then, peeps, so power supply in, not too bad. That's a job's a good one. Next thing, motherboard, lean across, thank you, legs hurt, sit back down, in pain. P9X79 Pro by Asus. Good entry level 2011 board. To be perfectly honest with you, there's some of you out there that are going to hate the blue on this, and there's other of you out there that are going to really warm to this. Now, I shouldn't like it, but that is actually quite nice. It's actually strangely pleasing. So yeah, we're going to be using this. We'll just have a look in the box to see what else there is, just for those of you out there. We've just got some cables. These are SATA 3 cables. SLI, bridge, board, stickers, drivers. We'll download the drivers new. We need to take the back plate out, so we're definitely going to want that. I'm not going to want any of those. So yeah, basically the only thing I really need on this is the back plate. So we have the back plate. Ha! I thought she was giving me a wedding ring. Ha! Right. Steve-O, can you please find the screws for that? You know the ones I mean. While I get the doobry-doober ready. So, 2011, obviously massive clamps on these. If you haven't seen them already, go back and watch my 2011 videos. We slide that out. Obviously you always go careful with this kind of stuff, because there we go. Right, so we're putting a 3960X in. I'm not sure which one of these this is. I think this might be the original one that I got sent. But anyway, spin around. So yes. Lovely. So that's a 3960X we've dropped in there. Now Steve's hopefully going to come back in a minute with the Corsair H100 screws while I fit the back plate in the back of the case. Are they the ones from that box, or are they the ones from the test wrench?
That's fair.
Right, you lazy mofo.
They're the ones I thought you meant.
No, that's why I handed you a box and said, can you get the screws out of that box, please? So, yes, I handed you a box, and obviously I meant go in the other room and get me the screws from the test bench.
I thought you was talking in code.
In code! Oh, right, okay. So the code from, here's a box, can you please get the screw out of the box, basically meant, here's the box, can you please ignore what's in this box and go and get the screws from the other room?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Oh dear, see, do you lot feel sorry for me now with the chimp I have to work with? Oh, at least bananas and peanuts are bloody cheap. Right, so we've just we've just done that. Now, fantastic, those in there for the minute. We'll have a look to see about this. Now, I was hoping about the possibility of getting the H100 in push-pull, but I think I've got slim to sweet FA's chance of being able to do it with this motherboard, which is a shame. There's nothing really I can do about it. So, I'm going to tip this now on its side. Straubs is going to need to take note. I'm going to try and do it as nicely as I can. Ow! Now, one thing I am noticing straight away, if Straubs keeps it still, can you see that, Straubs?
I can.
No, don't look at that. Look in the camera screen, Straubs. Can you see that? No, don't zoom in it. Can you see where my finger is in the camera screen?
Yeah.
Right, that's all right then. Right, basically, the cutout for the 8-pin motherboard power is over in the far back of the case where you would expect it. But the 8-pin is actually kind of almost a third of the way in on the motherboard here. It's like almost in line with the CPU. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to run the 8-pin through the back of the motherboard cutout. So it's going to be coming up here, just so that we can make things a bit tidy. So I need to find the cable, which CPU is here. And right, this is a good little trick for you. So you get your cable, you get it plugged in, bosh, click, lovely. Then spin it round the back of the case, shove it down through your CPU cutout. So that's that bit done. Move it round the back. Right. Still might look a bit of a mess, but you'll understand in a minute. It might be a bit tight. I'm not going to say it's just going to slide straight on, but it will look better. Basically, that'll be the way it looks, rather than having it going all the way over into this corner, and we can make it all nice and tidy. So what I'm going to do now is find the rest of the screws for this case, because I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what one's what on this. What I have noticed though is they've got me some lovely screws for the H100 for the roof, for me to be able to screw straight through, so thank you very much, Corsair. I do love it when you think about stuff like that. So we'll start screwing the motherboard in. Now the two colours of blue, because obviously we've got the light blue, actually we've got quite a few different shades of blue. I actually quite like it in with this and the black and the white. It all kind of does lean quite well together. So we'll slide all this lovely stuff in. Steve's uploading to Facebook again. Ah. Dum dip dip dum ticka dum ticka dum ticka bum 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 dip dum doo. Go go Power Rangers. We really need some tunes so you don't have to listen to me sing. Do, 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 do. So yes, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, all the screws done. Lovely. Steve's farted. Stinks. Well, if it ain't you, it ain't me. You might have to stop breathing, Steve. Right, so we have that in. We've got the cable done at the top as well, which is a little bit, you know, obviously we want to keep the cables relatively short. So that's all good. Really, the next thing I think we should be concentrating on doing now is fitting the H100. Because basically what we can do with the H100 is obviously we need to put power away for it and stuff. In fact, oh my god, I maybe should have done that first. So we may have to, where's the box? Steve's hiding it. Ow! So H100. Oh no, 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 no. Right. Now, the thing that I'm worried about is the H100 cable, and there's not really anywhere for me to be able to put it. So now this is, you're not going to need to, for you wouldn't need to do this. You could quite easily now fit your H100 in the roof, fit it on, and you could quite happily run your cable away and have done with it. I'm a little bit more anal than that, especially when it's something I've got to use myself, and I'm not going to be able to do this. So I'm just going to have to make a quick change. I need to put the power cable for the H100 behind the motherboard before I screw the motherboard in. It's just so that the cable's out the way and the cable's a bit shorter. There's no other reason than that. I'm just hoping if I undo these top screws, I'm going to be able to flex the board enough to be able to push it behind. So we're going to have that way, so that just needs to go behind there. Now that's like that. Where am I likely to put it? Over there. So that shouldn't be too bad. Right. So now I've done that. It may seem like a really stupid thing to you, but it's the type of thing for me that would drive me absolutely nuts. And I've been known to have built a rig in the past and come across something, you know, like that I knew I wouldn't like, and I've taken like 2 hours to take a rig apart again just to put a cable in a different place. So just to be clear, what I've done is the same way I did with the 8-pin. I've now put the Corsair H100 Molex behind as well, and then hopefully at the end of it all, it'll all be nice and tidy. Right, so when it comes to thermal paste, 1155 processor, I would dab in the middle and let the heatsink do the rest. And AMD graphics, dab in the middle, let the heatsink do the rest. The 2011 stuff now has got so massive, there's a massive surface area there to cover. Same with the NVIDIA graphics. These ones I spread and then mount it. So 2011 and 2011 CPU, NVIDIA graphics I spread. 1155 and lower CPU and AMD graphics I just squidge and spread. AMD CPUs, it really depends. I'm really not that fussed with them, to be honest with you. But I've been known to, you know, do both. I'm just trying to find my spreading tool. My personal thermal paste of choice is Noctua NTH1. Now I've got to admit I do get it by the ton. If I just show you something, I'm going to see if I can find it quick. I do get Noctua thermal paste by the ton. And that's basically because I like it and I asked Noctua for it, and they, because I'm quite open about it, I don't mind using it. They do send it to me, but the only other stuff that I would buy with my own money is Arctic Cooling MX2. Now the reason why I buy Arctic Cooling with my own money is because they're the only other ones that do a massive tube, this 30-gram tube. There's small like 4-gram tubes and stuff like that I can't be bothered with. So I get these big ones when I go away to do like shows and stuff, just because I know I'm going to get through loads of it. So that's the only thermal paste you will find me using ever. But where this is my own rig, I'm going to be using Noctua. Always good because it's non-conductive, so if I make a mistake and it gets on the pins, it won't matter. It's also good for your graphics cards as well because it's non-conductive. So, but one thing I will say is it's wrong of me because I where I have so much of it. Steve, can you get me a bit of tissue paper, please? No, don't take a picture of that. Give me a picture of tissue paper. I've put a lot of thermal paste on this now, and I've done it a lot on purpose because what I do is I spread it out and get it even, and then any excess I take off again. So I'm going to spread it out now, but like I said, I only really spread on the 2011s. La 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 la. Now it doesn't have to be immaculate. You don't need to worry too much. But that to me, I think a baker would be happy with that. And just so that you can see, there is a hell of a load of thermal paste that has come off. At least half of it's come back off again. And that's just because I've got a really good even coat now. Clean my, I love this tool. That can go back in my drawer. But yeah, that's done. You taking a picture?
It focuses, yeah.
Right, so we've done that. We've got the H100 clips on. Now, some of the H100s were really tight to get on. A lot of people said they can't get them on. You can get them on, you just need to be, take your time with them basically, because they do fit. They can be a bit difficult. And we'll see what this one's going to be like, because I don't think I've mounted this one before. You generally just need to get it all even. It would help if I'd see that you can tell I've not even used this. I'm trying to fit it with the back plate on. Where's that tissue paper gone? I'm going to take all the thermal paste off of this as well. Now, I'm going to get my paste again, because rather than trying to fit it with that thing, I skim those back over, so that's all nice and even. Right, so we've evened that all up again. I've taken the thermal paste off that came with that. The only reason why, before you're laughing, the reason why I forgot about this, because it was new. I'm used to using the one that we use on the test bench, which is obviously always clean. But right, we just need to get the these on level. Get 3 on, get 4 on. There we go. That one's gone on. Really easy. Not a problem fitting that whatsoever. So now we get our clamps. So we get our screws on here now. Now what I do is I do alternate corners. Spin them on so that you can feel them start to bite a bit. Right, so they're all starting to bite a bit. Now what I do is alternate corners. It's just like the wheel nuts on your car. So, done right up, and then we go and do the other one. Done right up. Done right up. Just turning my back so I can get a better grip on this screw. Listen to this, it's too good to miss. Da -da 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 -da. Steve, that's disgusting. Right, so that's the H100 all screwed in, all lovely bubbly. So we'll stick that in the top. Basically now what we need to do is stand the case up. I'm going to pull the rest of the power cable through and sort the power cable out. I'm sorry I can't show you this a bit better, but I'm just going to make it as tidy as I can do. But right, so H100 now. We are ready for fans in roofs. So I need to get one of these. I'm sure we should have another one of these boxes somewhere, Steve. Now obviously we're in the roof, so we want these exhausting. Now the Noctua cables aren't very long, so I'm going to use an extension. I'm also going to use a splitter as well. So I'm going to use a couple of the Noctua toys. Now, where's the cutout? There it is. Go through that. There we go. Right. So we've added an extension in. We'll pull that down through as well. Alright, we'll pull that down through and it'll fall off then. So that's one fan. Steve's got another fan, but I don't need the extension because we're using a double. Now I think what I am going to do, I'm actually going to turn this way round because it'll make the cables slightly easier to do. Did the H100 come with any fan screws? I'm supposing it did, but Steve's not bothered to try and get them out. So we'll use these. I hope these are long enough because I'm not quite sure whether the H100 will actually need some of its own screws. I think Steve's now gone to have a look. Yeah, these aren't long enough, Steve. So I need the long H100 ones. That's the ones. Put them there for me. So right, we've got some longer screws from the actual H100 box now rather than using the case ones, which are just designed for the fans. But get this one started. Right. Can I have another one, please, nurse? I said one, not count.
How rude.
Right. So we're just getting the old H100 fitted. Vanity Fairer here.
You're not in the picture.
Mm-hmm. Feel left out.
Do you want me to take one of you in?
Yes, please. There we go, feel better now. Right, done, 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 done. Right, next fan. Dum, bum, bum, bum. With these ones, I'm hoping you can see, I'm going to flick the thing around because my cameraman's gone on strike. He's also not bothered to think about the fact that the case is completely in the shadow of the lights behind me. He is fucking useless. So I'm going to move to make it easier, Steve. Do you know what I mean? It's like trying to make videos of people on YouTube here, too busy drinking your Coke, texting your girlfriend. Oh, I don't know. Can you see better now? Oh, look at that. No shadows. Well, no horrific ones anyway. Right, so this fan cable comes out here. If you have a look, there. There. This fan cable comes out there as well. So basically, when they're in, the cables are very, very similar length, and it will mean that we've not got any like massive loops or anything like that, and they're both roughly the same. Oh, ow, 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 dying. Oh, God. Right, that's it. Good. Right. So, another one in here. He's texting his girlfriend again. Look. Look. He's texting his girlfriend again. Oh, Mr. Strawberry, me love you long time. $10 sucky fucky. I missed you so much, babe. I've not seen you for like forever. Right, so, seeing as the cameraman is apparently taking a break, H100 in the roof. One thing we do need to do is give the old top a go to make sure she clips in. Lovely. Nestled, lovely, lovely, lovely. One thing I may do is, if it comes out easy enough, is remove the dust filter. I may throw this at Steve to do, because we don't need the dust filter because we're blowing hot air out of the roof, not pulling it in. So we don't really need it restricting. And it might help the airflow a little bit, and also it might stop a little bit of noise. So I don't know how difficult. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do that afterwards. So if I turn the case now on that way, H100 is fitted. How's it looking, Steve? Can you fucking see? Can you see?
Yep.
You can see. Right. H100 fitted in the roof. Lovely. So we've got the cables in. Really what we need to be doing now is fitting the power cables. Graphics card we'll have to do because we need to do the heatsink. So what I reckon we should do now is drop the RAM in while we've got it open at the top. Now this is Corsair RAM, it's DDR3, oh fucking DDR3, of course it's DDR3. It's 4 times 8 GB sticks, so 32 GB in total. It's Vengeance, it's the black stuff. It's 1866 megahertz. Now, you may not think that's blazingly quick, but I've got to admit I've been testing some of this on a lot of the CPUs that I've got, and as soon as you really start to push the size of the sticks, and more importantly the amount of sticks that you use, CPU seems to get a bit funny about it. They run at 10, 11, 10, 27 out of the box, but only at 1.5 volts. So these are, like I said, 8 gig sticks. And before you ask, I always use the colour on the outside. So on this it's blue. Never do the ones on the inside, always do the ones on the slight outside. Always have done as well. So right, let's have a look at this. So we drop this in here like this. Dum-da-dum. Then we get another one. So just to recap, there's 32 gig of memory going in this. 32 gigabytes. Oh.
Not 64, no, is it?
Shut up, I can put 64 in if I want.
Yeah, of course you can.
I can, I've got another kit. Prove it. Right, okay. Just to prove it, here's another kit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 sticks. Arse. You're just jelly, Steve.
Not gonna lie, I am.
Right. Don't worry, we don't hate each other. It's not like that at all. Fucking despise each other. Nah. It's a love-hate relationship. He loves me, I hate him.
I'm not it.
I'm heartbroken.
I tolerate you.
That's a good word. I like that. I tolerate you. Right, I'm going to have a Slurpee.
Of Diet Pepsi.
Aspartame. Oh yeah, that'll have me climbing the walls. Oh. Oh, I best get out of it on my phone. Right then, peeps, so we've done that. We've got all of that in. Now it's really got to be time for cables. So we're gonna stop the camera now, and I'm gonna let Steve change where the camera is. We'll move the lights around a bit. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Right then, so we've moved and we start off with Steve's phone going off. But anyway, it's time for cabling. We've already done the 8-pin, which we can just shove through. But obviously we need to work out the cables that we want. Now, the one thing I will say is when it comes to cables, I don't put in what I don't need. So blatantly I need a 24-pin, so we need that there. We need a PCI Express. So this cable's got two 6+2s, so we're going to need this. Then, for those of you out there that are going to have loads and loads of SATA drives, obviously you're going to want to put a SATA cable in. I'm not going to have one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit this Molex connector. Now the Molex connector will mean I'll be able to power the fans, and it'll also mean I can run a line off if I want to power the single hard drive that I'm going to have in this, wherever I put it. I may stick it underneath the front here, or it may end up there. I don't know yet until we get to the kind of nitty-gritty bit. But to start off with, I'm just going to fit the Molex, and then we'll expand from there onwards, and we make adaptations from there onwards. But the whole idea is the least amount of cables that you put in, the least, you know, the less cables you've got to try and hide. So it just kind of makes sense. So we'll start off with shoving these cables through. Right, so they're the main cables that we're going to we'll do the Molex in a sec. The Molex actually we should do first because that goes right up the other end. Right. So Molex, I know these power supplies quite well, so that one goes in first just because I know it goes right up that end. This one is the power supply, 8-pin power for the CPU, so I know that one goes there. Now straight away I'm going to start braiding these cables out the way so that they look better. Then we want the 24-pin cables, so we can put that in. So that's that done. Make sure they're all clipping nice and tight. And then the next one we want goes down the bottom without headbutting the case. Now I know this isn't riveting YouTube TV, but basically all I've done is fitted the cables that I know we are 100% going to need. So then we can come round the back. So we get round the back, and for the time being all we're trying to do is get the main ones done. Break it up. So we'll do these ones, then we'll do these ones, and then we'll do the fans and stuff right at the very end. So 24 pin, let me just see where the 24 pin is. It's actually quite high on this board. The 24 pin's up here. So I'm going to actually move every single one of those cables out. And you'll see why in a bit. Because there's a gap up here. If I can, I'm going to try and put all of them up through there. But anyway, so we want this one up here. Now, I'm not going to show you me clipping it into place because you know how to clip a 24 pin in. But I'm going to clip that in. Let me have a look. Yeah, so you can't really see anything at all. But anyway. Ow. No, clip on, thank you. Right. Right, so I'm just checking to make sure it's all clipped in and located, and it is, so we're all right. Right, now the next one, we know that's going to have to go up around this way, is the PCI Express. Now we can't really do anything with these until we get the graphics card on, so we'll dangle those through. Next will be the so I'll do it that way. We're obviously going to have power. We're going to need to power the rear exhaust fan. We're going to need to power that fan as well. So I'm just trying to work it out. Now I know I'm going to need to power the pump, so we'll put the pump on. And then what I'm more than likely going to do is have this Molex powering this fan and this fan via 12 volts. And then this Molex will power this fan and this fan down here. Now you may ask me why I'm using Molex, but if I want to spin the fans down slightly, now this only really works with the Noctuas, but if I want to spin the fans down, I'll use the Noctua fan speed reducers that come in the packet. But to be perfectly honest with you, especially with the H100, they're not loud on the H100 at all. So the only reason why I would be, for me to do it, would be to regulate the fan speed going in or going out. And I normally do that once the rig's running and stuff. So the two in the roof are on this one, and this one will put onto a Molex, and these two will also put onto their own Molex as well. So essentially, short of finding a way to, or where I'm going to put a solid state drive, that's as good as done. The cable tidying. You see it's relatively tidy there. We're going to have the graphics card here, which is going to have that big meaty cooler on it anyway. Now, what I was saying to you previously is there's a gap here, which is where I poked the cable through for the H100 fans. Now, one thing I will say is if you don't need a cable, don't connect it up. So I'm just going to follow. In fact, I'm going to take it off, because there's a lot of cables, like the I won't use the firewire cable at all. Just there's no need for it to be there. Front panel audio, I personally won't use that at all. You all ask me why. If I use headphones, I plug them into the back. Simple as that. So when we get to the back, oh crikey, it's not really going to be doing me many favours, this. Right, so let's have a look at cables. Now I know this is, right, that's firewire. Now you're going to think I've lost my mind, but I know I do not want this. Now you could curl them up in the top, but I don't want it at all. So I don't plan on doing anything else, so cable gone. Simple. Those cables for the front panel, so we blatantly want to keep these. That's for the LEDs, but we don't need those, but I won't get rid of those in case. This cable is front panel audio, so again I'm going to cut that off because I don't want it. And then it's really just the fan cables that light up for the front. So we'll curl these up. We'll curl these up now. Stick a zip tie through. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the bum, but it's just so that they've got a rough, they're roughly clipped up for the time being. It'll be easier for us now they're like that. Once we get to the other side. Now cutting the cables off may seem a bit extreme, but for me it doesn't matter. I would rather get rid of them, because I know I'm not going to want them, then have to try and cable tidy them. You could say it's the lazy way. Part of me would agree with you. Now, like I said, I'm not saying this is the way you should do stuff. All I've ever said is this is the way I do my stuff. So, screw that on. Screw that on. So right, that's that. So then we're left with the few cables that we actually want, which, as I said before, I'm going to magically send them round there so that they're higher in the case, so that you're less likely to see them. This is the only one I don't think is going to go through here for love and money, but we will see. No, that one's not going to go through there for toffee, so that one we'll have to put that way. There's no other bloody way I'm going to be able to do it, but we'll clip it all up nice and tidy once we get on the other side. So we've got our front panel cables. All the other cables can eventually be clipped up in the roof. So right, that's that done. So essentially now, that's it, job done. We have the fan controller's not going to work because that's not connected up to anything. The LED light switch, we've not got any LEDs, so that's not going to be a firewire I won't use. Those I won't use. So we've got the two USB 3s, which I need to do. And then, actually, I've just thought of a way that I can do this. I'll turn it round this way. Hopefully Straub's camera can see that I'm pushing the cable through the side of the optical bay. So it goes through there because the actual USB 3 holder or connector is quite near the 24 pin. So by going this way, we've got it out the way. Obviously when the door's on, that'll be much better off. And then when we look this side, as you can see, obviously we've got the 24 pin there. There's no cables up here. This is where the PCI Express is. This is the USB 3 cable, which we've got connected up. 8 pin up here. That's it. Basically what we need to do now is chuck the graphics card in, get that wired up, and then fit our fans and our solid state drive. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get things rejigged again, because now I need to get set up to strip the graphics card and fit the Arctic cooling block. So I'll move the lights around a little bit. Steve's going to have to clear up a bit. I'm going to have a drink as well. So give me 5 minutes and we'll be back. Right then peeps, that's not the back finished, but if I get Straubs to go and turn the computer around a second. Basically what we've done, cut a long story short, I'm going to move the, so you can see, right, graphics card that's in there is now a Sapphire 7950, but everything else is the same as we've built it. Now, reasons are the Arctic cooling heatsink required the MOSFET and the RAM bits to be thermal glued on. Now that's alright for you guys, but for that card I've actually got a use for it after this, as in I needed to take it from this system and put it into the system that's coming later. So I couldn't glue it on, so I've just chucked the Sapphire one in there for now, just so that it's got roughly the same sort of graphics card. So it's a shame, but we've done that. Also, I've set the fans, all of the Noctua fans, with the low noise adapter, so they barely make any noise whatsoever now. But what we're going to do is, this is the end of like tonight's thing, because what we're going to do now is we're going to do the final bit of cable tidying around the back. Straubs is going to put windows on it, just so that you know. Up there, hidden there, is the Intel solid state drive, 240 gig 520. You can see the cable kind of like coming out here, going underneath there. We've got to make them all tidy, but it's there. But that's essentially it. So what we've got to do now is get the old girl set up, and then when we've finished setting it up, we'll put a few benchmarks on it that we can run and show you it running. But we'll do that tomorrow. Now we're going to do all the kind of normal boring stuff late at night, and it also means that when Steve's downloading drivers, he can go on his favourite naked lady sites while he's waiting for stuff to download. Tell me I'm not right.
Wasn't going to do that, no.
So they're not naked ladies. What? What type of websites are you going on, Steve? Steve doesn't like naked lady websites. Oh my god. Bum to the wall. Anyway, obviously we're not finished yet. I'm going to struggle standing down because I'm still hurting from last night's classes. But we've got the Asus motherboard in there. We still need to tidy all this up. But yeah, So this is where we're going to leave it. This is part 1. Right then peeps, we decided to carry on. So yeah, basically, let's have a look on the inside. This is it, the finished build. I have to get careful because of my legs. Ow. Right, so we've got the NFF12s in the front. We've got hidden away the 240 gig Intel 520. Obviously we're using the Corsair cables throughout. The only cables that aren't Corsair in this is the braided SATA there, and the power cable for the SATA. That's they're Bit Phoenix ones. All the power supply cables, all these cables, all the rest of them, they're all Corsair. I've just seen this, which I need to kind of get a bit anal and tuck away, so it looks a bit more tidy. But you can see up the top there that we've stuck the power cable for the H100 straight away over the top of the motherboard, as we've done with the 8-pin CPU power. We've got NFF12s throughout. We actually swapped last minute to the Sapphire just to make it, because I wanted it to be really quiet, so I used the Sapphire 7950 because I needed to glue the heat sinks on for the Arctic cooling one, and I don't really want to do that because I need to use that card later on for something else. It actually needs to have a water block on it. But anyway, AX750, I could have used the AX650 that I've got, because even the AX750 is overkill for this, but it's in there now. We do this, lift this up, try to do it with one hand, there we go. We have more NFF12s in the roof, obviously in pull. For anyone asks a stupid question, I am going to remove the mesh on the back of this because we don't need it, where it's always going to be an exhaust. I'm just going to lay it down and get Mr. S to quickly take the door off. We'll have a quick look. Now the cable tidying is not amazing, but I'd also say it's probably not finished yet. We've done all we need to. We've put windows on it quickly to make sure that it's all right. But I'm just going to put my microphone inside the case. Okay, and I'll show you the fan starting and stuff, but just listen to how quiet this rig is. Just keep an eye on the front fans when you'll hear me shout anyway. Right, just about to turn it on, you'll see the fan start. What would happen if I turned it on? My bad, hang on. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me that is flipping quiet. The fans are just non-existent. I can actually hear electrical noise from the motherboard. So, yeah. So yeah, I can actually hear electrical noise from the motherboard. It's that quiet. So, mission accomplished. Built myself a quiet rig. It's 2011, so awesome. What I need to do now is we'll get some benchmarks and stuff on it, and I'll do a proper, so you can see it overclocked. We'll get some results. Also show you kind of a video render on the old rig, and we'll render the same video on this rig. Yes, we'll see what the difference is, because even I'm quite interested to see what the difference would be. So really now we're going to call it a night now. We're going to finish all the messing around with like getting the benchmarks off and all that kind of and all that kind of stuff in the morning, and then yeah. But this time is the end of this video. We're going to do a separate video for all the performance and stuff like that, but this is the build side of it complete. So yeah, Next one's going to be that, and then obviously later on in the weekend we've got Straub's rig to completely disassemble and do that. And then we also need to try and find time to do the Cosmos 2, and we also need to try and find time to do the server. Yeah, I don't need my head testing too much. Anyways, this is Tiny Tom Logan, and apparently it's Tiny Tom Logan and a wave out.